Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to my latest episode of New Album Spotlight, the show where I put the spotlight on a new album in progressive rock or related genres, one that I think you guys will appreciate and enjoy if you have similar tastes in music as me. It's always a joy to bring a new band to people's attention and hopefully get them more buzz and appreciation for the hard work they're putting into their music. It's always great to see that happen and to see people be introduced to some of their new favorite music. So today I have a great album to talk about. I'm really excited to get into it. The band is called Mile Marker Zero and the album is Coming of Age. Mile Marker Zero are a cool band that have been around for a little bit of time. Their first full-length album, self-titled album, came out in 2009. Seems like they had an EP before that in August 2006. Really fantastic group that kind of pulls on some modern influences. There's a rock edge to their sound, maybe taking some cues from like 90s alternative rock, but adding a dash of like classic rock and prog from the 70s. There's a bit of kind of a modern Rush sound that I hear in their music. Porcupine Tree, Steven Wilson also is a great reference point. But really they're their own unique band that pulls these styles together into something that's fully their own. You know, don't take it wrong. I know I've heard a lot of commentary from bands that probably are disappointed that they're constantly compared to other bands, but it's more just to provide a reference point for people who may be interested in checking out their music. But I don't want to make it sound like they're a copycat of these other bands. They definitely have their own unique sound, their own stamp, and I think they come in with a lot of freshness and excitement into the genre. I first became aware of them with their previous album, The Fifth Row, from 2018, which had a heavy prog edge, but a bit of almost like a Spock's-Beard fun prog kind of vibe with a lot of cool concepts. So I really respected that album. I thought it was excellent. But this one, Coming of Age, feels a bit more polished, a bit more mature perhaps in its sound. I think it largely succeeds in bringing a bit more of a complex sound to the equation. I really love it. It's just full of great melodies and catchy choruses, soaring guitar solos. There's a lot to grab hold of, a lot of great ear candy. But of course they throw in these cool complex moments and progginess throughout these tracks. So it's a cool balance for me. And that's kind of one of the things I look for in the music that I listen to is stuff that grabs my ear, that has hooks and earworms and cool melodies that grab hold of me and that are memorable and that I come back to. But built and baked into that sort of mixture is all these cool prog flourishes that add a lot of character, add some adventure and excitement to the sound, add elements that are a bit less predictable than your standard rock fare. And I think they blend those things excellently. It's really an excellent work of music. 51 minutes of incredible songs that all have their own unique identity and all bring a lot to the table. The lineup here for this group, we have Dave Alley on vocals. We've got John Tiohi on guitar, Mark Fokerile on keyboards, Jaco Lindito on bass, and Doug Alley on drums. A group of fantastic musicians who all are highlighted on this release in various ways and in various tracks. It starts with an intro called A Time and Place, short piece with piano and passionate vocals and atmosphere, a bit of a dramatic opening sequence before we get into the first track proper, The Best Is Yet to Come. Very Rush-like opening, a bit of Steven Wilson vibe as well. It's like, you know, imagine Time Flies mixed with Far Cry and you get a little bit of a feel for the sound that's going on here. A catchy beat follows with hand claps and some cool guitar licks in the background. Really strong, great sounding rock music, like I said, with prog flourishes all throughout. This is a highlight track, really excellent way to start the record with a bright, catchy rock song with cool prog undertones. Next we get Towns to Grow Up In, which is a bit of a arena rocker sort of feel. Some of these tracks have a bit of an AOR style to them, which is really cool and has this big expansive sound, and I really like this. A bit of wistful nostalgia as well to this track, but also manages to add some nice keyboard flourishes and some interesting instrumental sections that make this beyond just kind of a standard arena rock ballad. Bazaar is one of the more interesting tracks on the records, has a little almost electronica style to it with some beats and synth washes underneath some catchy vocals, has a cool different vibe to it. Love the chorus with some beautiful harmonies, some sweetly played acoustic guitar as well, some piano playing pops up in the next section, creating a really cool moody atmosphere before the band kicks in with their typical kind of 80s 90s rock feel to the sound. A really cool track. It's only like 5 minutes long, but it's a really strong highlight of the record. Coming of Stage, the title track, has some really interesting sounds in it as well. Has this bit of a marimba sound that continues throughout the track. Maybe can feel a bit repetitive, but I think it adds to the texture of the sounds and really blends in well as all these different elements come to the foreground. We get some really cool bass and vocals added to the mix, really cool shifts and weaves throughout the track in different sections, really addictive chorus with a really pleasant listen, lots of ear candy on this one as well. Lovely acoustic guitar solo on this piece, full of emotion and wonder before the band kicks back in for the finale of the track. Just a really excellent work from them. Heavy Days, as the track title might suggest, adds a bit of a heavier atmosphere. Some cool heavy prog stuff happening on this with some really great instrumental moments, some furious riffing, but it starts with this kind of classical tinged piano sound, which is really cool as well and adds a different variety and flavor. This is one of the more proggier tracks, certainly. There's some acoustic guitar playing and vocals, some busier bass work throughout. Really fun track to listen to as a heavier prog fan. A really good one. Far From Here is another cool vibe with a great bass line, bit of a laid back vibe and shuffling beat. This leads to a big rock moment immediately, subdued for a bit, but then back to this big arena style chorus. There's some killer proggier sections built into this piece, and it's a really fun track built upon this really cool, expressive bass line that rides throughout the track. So a really cool piece. And then we get the end of the record with End of August, which is a bit more of that kind of AOR arena rock style. Comes some acoustic guitar strumming and piano, leading to some cool picking stylings when the vocals enter. A really well-constructed ballad full of wistful nostalgia and beautiful emotion, and a great epic build at the end that calls back to The Best Is Yet to Come, and some awesome keyboard playing to lead us out of the album. A great ending to a great solid record. Really recommended if you like classic Rush music, if you like Steven Wilson Porcupine Tree, some of the more accessible stuff that they do. Really excellent tracks that have great production values, sound really clear and crisp, great vocals, cool prog flourishes throughout the record, but grounded in this kind of great melodic rock style. Just really a lot I can say about this one, but it's a fantastic listen. Recommend it highly to pretty much any fan of rock music in general, but of course of prog music, which I specialize in. Really great band and a great promise for what may come in the future from them. So check it out on Bandcamp. I'm not sure this is actually available for streaming. I think there are singles available to listen to on streaming services, but the full album is for purchase on Bandcamp, and I strongly recommend grabbing it. It's really great and a great way to support an artist that's kind of an up-and-coming younger band that deserves more attention. So thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully something about this grabbed your attention and you're willing to go out and check out the record and support this great and upcoming band. Let me know in the comments if you happen to have heard this, what your thoughts are about it. I'd be curious to know if you like this record like I do. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully you guys will continue checking out my channel, and I have some great upcoming content, some recommendations coming out soon that I think you guys will really enjoy. So thank you guys, and I'll catch you in a future episode. Enjoy the music.